they look close enough, I guess. And on we go. Alright guys, what's going on? So real quick at the beginning of this video, I just wanted to drop on and let you guys know that the drop is now live, our Black Friday drop. It'll pretty much go on this whole week, so go ahead and grab yourself a hat. They got these new embroidered hats, as well as our first sweatshirt drop, first hat drop, restocked all of our sizes, small up to 3X, and our t-shirts. All the stickers are restocked, everything's ready to go. 909 Speed Company right now, down in the description, click that link, check it out for yourself, pick yourself up a hat, sticker, a t-shirt, or sweatshirt. But thank you guys a ton for your support, it really means a lot. Let's get into the video. Alright guys, what's going on? So in the last video with the Mustang, we got pretty much everything underneath the car all buttoned up, ready to be aligned, but we didn't do anything with the engine. It still runs like crap. It's been one of those things where you guys have seen it probably for months now. Every time I fire the car up, it pretty much just dies, or it idles like it has a blower cam or a supercharger on it, which it doesn't, unfortunately, maybe not yet. So we're gonna fix that in this video. There's a bunch of different tutorials on YouTube that are really, really helpful. So I'm not gonna like try to say this is my way to do it. I don't know what I'm doing with this car, and this is all new to me, as you guys have seen. So I'm just gonna run through the idle reset, reset the TPS, and just kind of go from A to B, reset the timing. We do have new plugs. We're gonna pull the plugs for the first time. Actually, I'm kind of embarrassed to say this. Never have I checked the plugs in this car. I never pulled all 4 of them out, or all 8 of them out. And I can hear it misfiring bad on one cylinder. One of these cylinders is like a dead hole. So we're gonna pull the plugs, swap them out, do an oil change, basically do all the basic maintenance to get this thing running. And hopefully we can go ripping around the block and it'll actually maybe be a little bit quicker. So I guess the first thing we'll start with is the plugs, because that's the one thing I can do while it's still cold. So this thing has BBK equal length shorties on it, which is why it sounds so much like higher pitch, kind of has that like NASCAR style or IndyCar like sound to it, is because of these headers. The equal length runners and then the X pipe with the Spintech mufflers is definitely what creates a sound with this car. A lot of you guys were asking me that. That's one thing I didn't clarify in the exhaust video we did with this thing when I was going through it all, is this has not just BBK shorties, but equal length shorties. Now you can run a long tube, but if it's an equal length long tube, it's gonna make a different sound than an unequal length long tube. So just keep that in mind when you're buying exhaust stuff. Ooh yeah, that was nice. This one's just like, nah, I'm gonna chill here. I'm just gonna sit here and make your car run like crap. Like, no, come out. Oh yeah, nice, 1/8 of a turn at a time. I can't get my hand on it either. Yes. Ooh, that one's got a lot of oil on it. Oh, I can already tell these are gonna be fun to take off. The thing that's, the thing that sucks about equal length headers is, plugs suck. Ow. It's like they're designed to not even come off. Like you might as well just put them on the head and then put the headers in. Yes, more oil. Nice. That's amazing. Ooh, this one's horrible. Gotta get around my hot air intake. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, what the hell is on the tip of that one? More oil. Why is there so much oil? All right, guys. So I don't know why there's so much oil, not gonna lie. It looks like one plug was really doing all the heavy lifting there. You can see the one white tip. Either that or it wasn't firing at all. But a lot of these have oil all over the fronts of them. I mean, they're decently consistent. They're all not very good. Kind of one of those things where you just kind of look at them and you're like, well, if nothing else, the plugs alone are gonna make the car run better. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap these things out. But yeah, I can definitely see why I had a misfire. Oh yeah, he was doing all the heavy lifting. Of course, this is the one with all the dielectric grease on my fingertips. Alright, so I'm going to run these plugs in the Fox. They're a Motorcraft plug. I recommend just running a soft copper plug. I have iridiums. This is what I run in my truck, just because of the amount. Oh, that was almost really bad. Just because of the compression, the fuel that we run and stuff like that, I don't want to burn the plug up. Usually it lasts a little longer. The issue with these, and I think the reason I'm going to try going to a copper in the plug and just changing them more often, $70+ for a set, and then these I think were like $30, $40 a set. But the price of plugs has definitely gone up for sure. But yeah, you can see the difference to what the plug's supposed to look like. So I'd say those are definitely roached. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and gap these up real quick. I think I'm gonna run them at, there's not really a point in an engine like the Fox to run up anything more than 45 thou or 40 thou. So I'll probably just stick it there and call her good. Alright, well, I just realized I ordered the wrong plug, so that sucks, kind of a little setback. So look identical from brief look, and then you get a little closer, you realize these have 2 different colors on them. So you can see one has like a chamfer and it goes down a size. So this one actually is set up to go in the cylinder head, and this one is set up to go in a different cylinder head than what I got. So this one will work too. These are basically 3 different styles, but it's kind of useless thread. That's kind of why it's like that. So yeah, I have GT40 heads, not 40Ps. I have GT40 heads on the Fox body, which came on, it's like mid 96 Explorers, and also Cobras and Lightnings. So this is the same spark plug that would have been an SVT Lightning. So I ordered them for a Fox body. Fox bodies, I don't even know, I think this would have had like an E7 head. This would have been like an E7 head plug versus a GT40 plug. And I think a 40P plug is the same, but I'm not sure. But yeah, pay attention to what cylinder head's on your car before you buy plugs. All right, so I just did the plugs. That helped a lot. It seems to run a lot better already. So I'm gonna adjust the TPS because that I think is the biggest problem. Try to ignore the fact that my fuel pump stays running. Fix that later. 1.1, definitely too high. All right. It's at 1.2, that's too high. Alright, so what I ended up doing is I got it pretty much, I think I need to pull it out, rat tail the hole out a little bit to go a little more because it's at 1.0, so basically 1 volt. This thing reads, from my knowledge, half a volt all the way up to 1.25 volts. So 0.5 up to 1.25 is what the range is, so you want to be somewhere in there. So I should be fine at pretty much 1 volt should be fine. A lot of guys say you want to run between 0.95 and 0.99. I'm not really sure where that number comes from. Or why it's that specific number. I think that is factory spec, but I'm not sure. But I noticed it definitely runs a little bit better. So, and then I did a factory idle reset. So while it was running, you have a little adjustment on the back side of the throttle body. You probably can't see it, but down in here you'll see a screw, and that adjusts your throttle blade. Unplug this guy, and that allows it to basically mechanically adjust the idle, not electronically. So now I shut it off. That's where I wanted my idle. It's about 800, which is where I want it. Now I can go ahead and plug this guy back in, and I'll kind of let things sit for a little bit. And then once the car restarts, the computer will kind of recalibrate the idle through what I set it at previously. You can't plug it back in when it's still running, otherwise it'll just go back to where it was. So you shut it off, that'll give it a chance to kind of recalibrate itself. So when I fire it back up, it should idle where it needs to. Electronically it should help. And the only thing I gotta check now is just go through the timing one more time. We should be good to go. So now I got a light on it, I'm gonna fire it up. Gotta pull this guy out right here. This little plug, that's kind of, so it knows you're tuning it. That didn't. What the hell just happened? Well, you guys saw that. Oh. Well, that shouldn't just fall out of there. I think that's what happened is I knocked the TFI out of place. Just trying to get this thing loose. Some stupid kid tightened it too tight. So that's, technically that's 15. Alright guys, so the next thing, I took it around the block, seems like it runs pretty good. The next thing that needs to happen for sure is the harmonic balancer. I didn't really realize, it took me a while to realize this, it's kind of bad, but the car shook like really bad and I was like, man, the alignment really sucks. But then I went to shift it and I missed a gear, so I shifted kind of slowly and I was like, whoa, the vibration went away. So I just put the clutch in and the vibration completely went away. So what I realized is it was fluctuating based on RPM and not just on speed. So I was like, okay, it's definitely an engine rotating issue. So what we did when we put the steering rack in this car is we noticed that the back of the balancer was like falling apart. I'm not sure how, considering this is not a very old engine, but somehow or some way the balancer, the rubber is actually separating, so it's like falling apart. So the balancer is not balanced at all. As you rev it up, it vibrates and then it gets smooth. It vibrates and then it gets smooth based on the RPM range. So not okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a new balancer on I picked up. If you didn't know, this car does have an underdrive kit on it, which you can barely see down there. I might take it off mostly because it's spinning, I think it's spinning the water pump too fast, and so that is probably an overheating thing. I've heard guys that run underdrives tend to have heating issues, so it might be that. Plus, I mean, realistically, how much power are you getting from an underdrive? If you already have a slow car, it's still going to be slow. So it's one of those things where maybe I might leave it just to get the extra 20 horsepower, but I don't know if it's worth it. All right, so we're gonna start by pulling the belt off. I think one of the other things I'm gonna do is change the alternator wiring because it sucks. It's really bad. This is one of those moments where I really hope I don't have to go to the parts store because this is my daily. So hopefully I don't break it in the process, but yeah. Get a Fox body, they said. They'd be fun, they said. Put metric and standard on the same motor and I'm gonna freaking die. Oh, there's a bolt up top. Where is it? There it is. This balancer is literally full of grease and dirt. Like I'm doing laps with this pick right now and it's still not getting it off. Aha! Victory! Alright, let's see if it actually comes off. Should come off pretty easy being everything's already separated, or it's going to be seized on. Alright, so I got our underdrive off so you can see just how much stuff was in here. Caked with junk and all sorts of junk. And you come over here, look at all the stuff that came out of it. Nice. That's a pretty thick pile I got going on there. Round one with the bender, started bending the puller, bending the puller, so I'm going to go ahead and try it again. Use a little bit of persuasion this time. Fun fact, when you're trying to take a balancer off, you gotta make sure you take the washer out that the crank bolt goes in. Otherwise you're just pressing on the washer and you're not gonna take anything out. So that's cool. Took that out, comes right off. Yay. Ooh, juicy. Oh my God, look at this thing. All right guys, so here's the old balancer for reference. This is why I was taking it off. The front, that's one thing, right? Like this is all good. You can see the separation though right here. So what it ended up happening is you can see it starting to sink in towards here. And then when I flip it around, you can actually see the separation right there. It tore and it actually started to come out of the backside here. So I can pretty much, I mean, this is how I pulled it out. Pulled it out like you guys just saw. You can see the line right there from where it's been resting. And so basically I was driving this thing around with this piece of rubber kind of sticking out and it was basically flopping around like crazy. So that's definitely the vibration. But yeah, the timing marks were not very easy to read. But yeah, junk. And then for the underdrive, you can see all the grease that's in here. So I'm gonna have to clean this thing out. It's an absolute mess. But we're gonna get it cleaned up and put it back on. Alright, so I sprayed some degreaser on there. The bottom of this car, for whatever reason, leaked really bad at one point, and that's probably where a lot of this grease came from. So yeah, I'm gonna degrease this and ruin my driveway. Gotta be careful around the oil pan gaskets in the front main and all that junk. Ooh, yeah, this thing's really bad. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of crawl underneath it. Alright, I'm gonna do this dry, which basically means no water. But I haven't used brake clean. Holy cow, that freaking aroma. Oh, that's killing brain cells. I can already feel it. And there's so much brake clean in one area, it starts to burn your eyes. It's probably too much. So you spray more. You're going to want to be really careful around a lot of your gaskets and seals. And in the event that you do hit any of the gaskets or the seals, just spray more brake clean on it. Oh, I dropped the stick. I think we're done here. You know, one of those things that I never really did and parts stores really suck at doing is actually making sure this thing would have worked before I decided to even open the box. The one thing I noticed is I don't know if a 10-year-old spray painted it, but it's spray painted really poorly. But that's all right. Quality of the build is just mint. But the only real thing I can tell, because the part numbers are very bad, and there's also 0 timing marks on this thing, so that's just absolutely mint. I guess this will be a temporary fix for now, but yeah, I know it's timed, so that helps. But yeah, I mean, they look close enough, I guess. And on we go. God, there's just a mess down there. Oh my God. Alrighty guys, so I got this thing all dialed up. I cannot get over how different this is. I mean, like from idle all the way to red line, you could like balance a quarter on the dash of this car now. It is glass smooth. Every gear, every shift, everything, it just feels smooth. The coilovers, you can't feel bumps in this car. Like you wouldn't think the way that it's set up, it would actually drive very nice, but it's the best driving car I have now. Way more plush than the town car, which is crazy to think. It's just a little stiffer, obviously, being it's not an off-road car. I'm impressed. I'm definitely impressed. But I'm gonna go ahead and hose this thing off for the cars and coffee we got tomorrow. Alrighty guys, next morning, so we're gonna head down to this, I think it's the Rancho Santa Fe Cars and Coffee. So very wealthy neighborhood and wealthy area in San Diego. But yeah, haven't been there in a long time. I'm gonna meet up with my buddy Nick with that white 63.5 Galaxy. But yeah, this is one of the only vehicles I have to drive, so we're gonna take it instead. See if I even remotely fix this thing. Oh, don't do it. There it goes. Okay. Nope. I'm not sure why it does that. That I don't know why it does, because TPS is adjusted correct, right? Idle air is adjusted right. Maybe the idle air is just bad? I don't know. But now it's fine. Just when it starts. Now it's fine. Alright, well, I can't even stress like how much quieter it is in this car. Like I'm in fifth, just kind of cruising. You can kind of see the RPM there. But like you can't even hear the car. For like literally the first time ever, all you can hear is me. It's not, I mean, when I get on throttle a little bit, you can hear the exhaust, but it drives smooth as glass. I have never experienced a 90s car like this before. Is this what they're supposed to drive like? I don't know, but all I know is when I saw the pulley assembly like rotating when the car was running, everything was glass smooth. The belt did not shake whatsoever, which was really cool to me. So I'll show it to you guys when we get where we're going. Do you have a heater in your car? I'm freezing, dude. I gotta wipe it down again. The hood latch is like flopping around. That's like all I was hearing.
Fucking nuts loose.
Yeah, I gotta tighten it real quick. Oh, that Galaxy's so sick. He hasn't driven that thing since like July. Let's listen to this thing. Yeah, I'll be there. Nice car, dude. Damn. This is the best looking Galaxy from the back, I swear. I can't find another one that looks cooler than Nick's. God, that thing shakes my car. Park in the back. There's probably also no spots right up front, so. I've noticed that a majority of the cars that come here are either super like clean builds that are completely done. All of them are completely perfect, like SEMA level builds, or they're stock supercars. That's the other thing I see a lot of. All right, it's actually pretty cool, man. I haven't been here in like over a year. Well over a year, probably closer to 2 years, but it's got a Ford area over here. There's like 13 C8s here, so we're gonna skip over all those, but let's go see what we can find. This is like the aesthetic I wanted to do on my Fox, just like this, like pretty much stripped out. Yep. Oh, that tack is sick. There's only one gauge.
That's all you need.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Oh, that's sick. The headlight covers. Oh, no, that's rad. Oh wow. See that Enzo? Yeah, I was like, whoa. I don't know when the last time I saw one of them was. Yeah, actually, pretty much. Jeez, I didn't notice the intake on that. Yeah, I don't wonder what other cars he's got when he's got something like that. Right? Holy crap. I don't know anything about supercars, but I know this is an Enzo. That kind of count for something, right? Lots of Porsches. This whole row is Porsches. I was gonna say, it's a noisy boy.
The ball sack hanging.
Wow.
Year and a half in Manhattan. And he goes, yeah,
Must be nice.
Listening, I got my copy. No, tell me. I'm interested.
This, I had this idea in my head for years and years. I had this idea.
I think it's not legit now.
So, information. He was looking at it.
Like an asphalt car? Oh, I bet. Yeah, it probably handles just like one. Street legal stock car, literally.
Look at how they preload the springs and shit.
I was just looking at that, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice. This thing. Nice.
Were you talking about that old ship?
That guy's sketchy. Stand in front of your car, right? Jeez. Just gotta wait for it to fully like cycle or something.
I always let the O2 sensor heat up.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I forgot you can just slap that thing. Alrighty guys, back home. I didn't realize I didn't show you guys the underdrive setup. So it's got a new crank pulley, bigger water pump pulley, so water pump will turn slower, smaller alternator pulley, so it'll turn the alternator faster, so charging will be higher, give water more time in the radiator, that good stuff. But yeah, absolutely crazy finding that balancer and pulling it off. I did not think it was that bad. That could have quite literally, you know, the more I would have drove it, it's technically destroying all the main bearings, thrust bearing, front main seal, rear main seal, all that stuff. It's just vibrating the heck out of the crankshaft and just shaking everything throughout the drivetrain. So that would have just eventually wiped out that motor and everything behind it. So I'm glad I noticed that. I'm glad we fixed that. Thing runs awesome now. I still gotta figure out what that cold start issue. You guys comment down below what you think that is. I have a brand new idle air control that I was thinking about putting in, but I don't know if that's actually the issue. So I gotta dive into that a little bit more. But yeah, go ahead and pick up your hat, shirts, stickers, all that good stuff. 99speedcompany.com. Like the video if you did enjoy it. Let me do your thing down in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.